The Virtual Console, that thing that was first introduced on the Wii, had so much promise when we first heard about it. Nintendo has created quite a library of classic games over time, and the idea of having all of them available on the current system, along with all the new stuff, was something that we could all get behind. Now we all know that the Virtual Console wasn't perfect. There were some noticeable classics that were missing, and the games were a bit pricey. But when we look at what replaced the Virtual Console, it's becoming painfully obvious that it needs to return. When the Switch launched in 2017, the Virtual Console was nowhere to be seen. It wasn't until a year and a half later that we got the Nintendo Switch Online NES and SNES, which was supposed to work as a replacement. For $20 a year, we were getting access to the library of games that Nintendo had picked out for these systems. I mean, we were supposed to get, better online and smoother online play, but that's a topic for another video. When this was first announced, I was all for it as a Virtual Console successor. Looking at how the VC was priced with $5 per NES game and $8 for a SNES game, the $20 yearly fee really looked like a great bargain to play all those classic gems. Mathematically speaking, it made sense, and we were given the promise that there'd be more games added over time. Now, Nintendo didn't technically lie about adding those games, but when you consider how rarely they add games to the service and see what games are selected, they might as well have. Nintendo Switch Online came out the gate with some classics like Super Mario World, Legend of Zelda Link to the Past, Super Metroid, and even the unreleased SNES game of Star Fox 2. All was well in my opinion, and it certainly looked promising, so I sat back and patiently waited for some more games that I'd be interested in. I waited for Donkey Kong Country. I waited for Super Mario RPG. I waited for Earthbound. I waited and waited and waited. Nearly 2 years later, those games are nowhere to be seen, and as of last week, we're getting games like Logic Bomb and Riger. Games that I've certainly never heard of, and games I'm pretty sure no one asked for. But hey, as long as Nintendo keeps their promise to add games, then it's all good, right? And here's where we run into the problem with the Nintendo Switch Online, NES, and SNES. They suckered us in with a good launch lineup, took our money, and are now doing the absolute minimum to keep their initial promise. I know I had some issues with the original Virtual Console, but at least I can say there was an effort to put out games that people actually wanted to play. After all, when you're selling games individually, you have a decent motive to sell games people actually want to buy. There was no money in uploading Virtual Console games people didn't want, but with the system they've created here on the Switch, there is. All Nintendo cares about at this point is uploading games to the service no matter how random or undesirable they may be. It's all so they can say, look, we're still doing the thing we said we would, with absolutely no regard to actually improving the service, with absolutely no regard to putting out quality games, with absolutely no regard to us, the customers paying for the service. Now, it's no secret that the Nintendo Switch is the only handheld in terms of the big three, which basically means it doesn't have any competition in that space. It's no secret that the Switch is one hot-selling system, already passing the Xbox One in lifetime sales, and it's no secret that Nintendo still puts in a good effort into making sure their first-party releases are of a good quality. But at this point, that's about all they're doing for the Switch. Until somebody steps up and attempts to go toe-to-toe with Nintendo, we will continue to see little to no effort in any aspect of the Switch that doesn't drive sales numbers. All we'll see is Nintendo making sure the hardware and software sales are good, and that, my friends, is the bare minimum.